Hey guys, Terminator here from the Platinum Trophy, bringing you March's episode of the Platinum Trophy show. Now, if my voice sounds a little bit flat, it's because I've spent the last half hour trying to get this thing to record, and I've finally got it working now, so we should be good to go. If you're new to the Platinum Trophy show, basically this is a monthly show that I put together discussing Platinum Trophies that have appeared on PSN profiles over the last month or so, as well as looking forward at the PlayStation Plus games for this month and looking at the trophies for those games, and also picking some standout titles, talking about those, and looking at delisted games and Platinums that may be unattainable in the future. You also may have noticed that there hasn't been a lot of content going up on the channel recently. That's actually because I've been away overseas, so unfortunately I couldn't do anything while I was away, but thankfully I'm back now, so there should be some more content coming up in the next week or so after this video posts. Now let's start, as we always do, by looking at the PlayStation Plus games for March. So thankfully for March, we've actually got a much better lineup than we did last month. Tearaway Unfolded and Discjam on the PS4, Discjam being a brand new title launching with PlayStation Plus. Lumo being a cross-buy title with Vita and PS4. Under Night and birth-exe Late on the PlayStation 3. Earth Defense Force 2025 on the PS3. And finally Severed on the PlayStation Vita. Now we'll start with Discjam. Let me pull the trophies up here. The trophy list for this only popped yesterday. Unfortunately, the game doesn't have a Platinum trophy, which is really disappointing. The trophy list does look pretty reasonable, and the game actually looks like a lot of fun itself as well. So it's a real pity that it doesn't have a Platinum trophy in there. We've got trophies here for completing the basic tutorial and the advanced tutorial, winning a certain number of matches as different characters in the game, winning a match without losing a rally, score a point off a serve, score the final point, and win 50 public online matches. So this is the only one here that I can imagine giving anyone any difficulty, just because it's an online trophy. Thankfully, this is a PlayStation Plus title, so it should be pretty easy to achieve within that first couple of weeks of it going up on PlayStation Plus, because everyone will be playing it. Again, it doesn't have a Platinum trophy, which is a real shame, because the list isn't too bad either. We've got some people over here on the forums complaining that there's no Platinum trophy as well, which is a bit of a shame. I think that's the sentiment all around. It's a real pity when games launch like this and they don't have a Platinum trophy, especially when there's a lot of potential with them. Okay, let's have a look next at Tearaway. So Tearaway Unfolded is the remastered or remade version of Tearaway for the PlayStation 4. This is a pretty easy Platinum trophy all in all. At the moment we've got 20,000 owners and 2,200 Platinum achievers, which is actually a pretty low percentage. It's probably because of some collectibles that people haven't gone through and collected, or potentially a glitch trophy at launch. I played this game on the Vita, so I haven't played the PS4 version, but I know it is significantly different or adjusted to work on the PlayStation 4 system. I'm just going to order the trophies here, and we'll have a look at those. Yeah, it's 100% in the game, completing all the extra things to do, which is all the extra collectibles and things, and some collectibles, things like that. It's generally the case with these kind of games. It's normally 100% of the collectibles that stops people from going through and getting the rest of the trophies. All the same, this is free next month. It's definitely worth going for if you're a Platinum hunter or a trophy hunter, because it is a pretty easy, straightforward game. If you want to have a look at a guide, there's a guide up on PlayStationTrophies.org as well. Okay, next let's have a look at Lumo's trophies. So Lumo is a puzzle game that came out on the PlayStation Vita last year or the year before. I know it was last year, I think. It is an incredibly difficult Platinum. As you can see here, we've got 1,000 owners and only 3 Platinum achievers. I'm not going to go through all these trophies because they're really, really difficult to get, and it's just really not worth it. It's sorted by rarity, so you can see here exactly 0.44%, so complete the game in old school mode, which is incredibly hard. I think you only get 1 life or something like that, 1 hit, one kill type of thing. Then it's for collecting all the collectibles, obtaining all the coins, a time-based, skill-based trophy, again another one here, and then a couple more collectible ones. Collect 101 zap, 64 logs. I haven't actually played this one myself, but I've seen the trailers of it, and the sentiment online on the forums is that this game is incredibly difficult to get the Platinum in. So let's go from one difficult Platinum to another, Earth Defense Force 2025. The Earth Defense Force games are notoriously difficult to get the Platinum Trophy in because you've got to do absolutely everything, which means replaying the game, 50 to 100 times with different characters. I have played a couple of them, never platinumed any of them before, just because of how difficult they are, unfortunately. They are a lot of fun, though, if you are, you want to jump in and play co-op with your mates, but definitely not to get the platinum. Cleared all stages on Inferno difficulty as the Fencer, Inferno difficulty as each of the different characters here, meaning you've got to play through the entire game with each of the different characters on the hardest difficulty. Again, in itself, that's pretty challenging, and you'd probably need a team of people to do that with as well. If you don't know much about these games, basically the Earth Defense Force games are third-person co-op shooters. They're sort of cheesy 80s style action film with giant alien spiders and bugs and insects that come down to Earth, and you've got to shoot them as a soldier. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and it is a lot of sort of arcadey fun, but it's definitely not a walk in the park when it comes to the platinum trophies. As you can see here, going down the list more, the difficulty-based trophies again, hard difficulty for finishing it with each of the different characters, hardest difficulty for finishing it with each of the characters. So there's definitely a few playthroughs involved if you wanted to get the platinum trophy in this one. I don't think we need to go down any further on that. I don't know if there'll be many people going for that platinum, to be honest. Okay, let's have a look at Severed. So this is a game that came out on the PlayStation Vita a couple of months ago. Actually, it was about a year ago now, to be honest. It's a first-person sort of dungeon-esque crawler type game. It is pretty cool. I played a little bit of it when it first came out, but didn't get very far, unfortunately, because other games came out at the time and I was a little bit preoccupied. As you can see here, we've got 7,000 or just shy of 7,000 game owners with 3,000 platinum achievers, giving us a 43% completion, which is actually pretty high. The game isn't difficult at all. I don't think there's any missable trophies, but there is a find every secret and explore every area to 100% completion as the two hardest, so it's certainly possible that there is something missable there. Finish the game after finding all mementos, find your father memento, find your mother's memento, find your brother's memento, find peace with the wanderer. It's definitely something I would encourage everyone to jump in and check out, because it's one of the PlayStation Vita's last, I guess not AAA, but AA games that was developed in the West. It uses the touchscreen in quite unique ways to sever off the enemy's limbs and things like that as you take them out. And it's in a really cool art style similar to Guacamelee, because it was made by the same developers, Drinkbox Studios. So let's have a look at Under Night in birth-exe Late's trophies. Now this is a fighting arcade game. As you can see here, the platinum has been earned by 1,200 people out of 12,000, so only 10% completion, which is pretty reasonable, to be honest. We've got trophies here for completing each of the different arcade modes with different characters, which is pretty standard for a fighting game. It's got interesting little comments underneath each of them as well. So finished arcade mode with Chaos, and then a tagline or a quote from him, which doesn't look like it's necessarily been translated that well from Japanese to English. Finishing more arcade modes, performing a shield, performing a chain shift, and then it explains how to do it, which is really strange. Cannot be done in training mode versus mode. Quickly press the D button twice during vorpal situations to cause a chain shift to occur. It's really bizarre. Some of these trophy lists, you just wonder what's going on. But it's kind of cool, I guess, that they've explained how to do the trophy within the trophy, which is a bit weird. Finish time attack in 10 minutes. Finish 30 matches of survival. These are all really standard fighting game trophy lists. For a ranked match, that's probably online, so that's something to be aware of. Played the game on one of the characters' birthdays. Dealt 5,000 damage. Yeah, again, hitting with a certain number of combos and hitting a certain number of damage for all of these. I can only see one online trophy there that might cause any problems. The gold trophies here are survival, time attack, and 10 minutes. They'll probably be really hard because they generally are in these Japanese fighting games. Yeah, and that's about it, to be honest. I don't know a heck of a lot about the franchise or this game, but if you've still got your PS3 plugged in, it could be an easy enough platinum, and there's probably going to be people playing it, so you should be able to get that online trophy out of the way pretty easily. And that's all for PlayStation Plus for this month. So just to recap, we've got Tearaway Unfolded, Discjam, and Lumo coming to the PlayStation 4, with Lumo also being cross-buy with the Vita. You've got Severed coming to the Vita, then you've got Earth Defense Force 2025 for the PS3, and Undernight and birth-exe late on the PS3. Last month you had Little Big Planet 3, Not a Hero, Star Wars, Anna, Ninja Senki DX, and Torkoal. I think this month is probably a little bit stronger. But as the time of recording this, on the 5th of March, you've still got time to go back and grab the games for February if you haven't already downloaded those. Even though there weren't many good platinums in there, it's still worth going in, clicking download, and keeping them on your system just in case you want to play them in the future. Now, just before we get into the games that came out this month, I want to quickly have a look at the delisted games that are coming out for this month, basically for March. So if we have a quick look here on PlayStationTrophies.org, there's a fantastic thread where people record the future server shutdowns. So this month, Disney Infinity shut down about 2 days ago. So that was Disney Infinity 1, 2, and 3. That's all versions. So the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita versions of those games now have unattainable platinums, unfortunately, because there are online trophies associated with them. So that's definitely something for you guys to be aware of if you're looking at starting those games at all in the future. Unfortunately, I couldn't put a video up sooner to warn everybody, which is probably something that would have been valuable, but still important to point out that they are unattainable now. We've got Tekken Revolution, which the server is going to be shut down on March 20th, 2017. This game doesn't have a platinum trophy, so there's no worries there, but it does have some online trophies which will affect it. And you've also got Onimusha Soul shutting down on March 30th, and I think this was a Japanese game. I'm not sure if it was translated or not. I'm not 100% on that one. And that's all for server shutdowns for March. So keep those games in mind. If you are playing Tekken or you've played it in the past and you want to get the rest of those trophies before the server shutdown, there should still be time to do it. You've got pretty much the whole month. And with that, let's get into the games that came out this month. I definitely need to get a jingle or something sort of for some of these segments, I think. Otherwise, it's going to sound very confusing switching between segments the way I've done. Now, last month, I think we got down to How to Survive 2 on the PS4, which I've been playing, by the way, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, let's see where we're going to start. Okay, I think we'll look at Kitty Powers Matchmaker first. This game came out the beginning of February, and it is a sort of dating sim game where you can match up characters within the game. I've watched one of the trailers for it. I haven't actually played the game myself. I had a look at the trophy list here, and I did initially think it was going to be really easy because just the nature of the game itself and based on the trailer I saw. But with 119 owners and only 2 Platinum Achievers, I would say it's pretty difficult. I'm not going to go through all the trophies because I think this one's probably a bit of a write-off, to be honest, in terms of a Platinum trophy. But the most difficult trophy in the game by a long shot was Have 50 Babies, so I thought that was quite funny, and I'm not sure what the trophy's for, but it's a gold trophy. If we have a look at the completion percentages here of people who have played it recently, you've got a lot of people who are sitting at the low percentage and then a few at the higher ones. So these guys could be boosting or something like that to try and get that last online trophy. I'm guessing that's the case just because we have a boosting session post that someone's posted here, so there must be some sort of online content in here as well. But yeah, in terms of a platinum trophy, I don't think it's really worth your time. Okay, let's go up and have a look. Double Dragon 4 apparently is really, really hard to get the platinum trophy in, so be aware of that, but it does have one. Okay, let's have a look at For Honor. So For Honor launched on the 14th of Feb. It's got no Platinum Achievers at the moment because I think one of the trophies is glitched. Now, 10,000 game owners and no Platinum Achievers would definitely indicate that. Let's have a look. Okay, there's a few trophies here that haven't been obtained. This is really weird. This never happens. The Platinum Trophy is showing up as less rare than a Bronze Trophy. Because they're both at 0%. That's quite funny. So manually deploy war assets in 5 different rounds. Yeah, these are definitely glitched. I can see the thread down here, people posting about it, but also the fact that these are 2 bronze trophies that don't look like they're too challenging. Participate in a season and come back to see the results at the start of the next season. So that there sounds like something you've got to wait for over time. I don't know how long seasons go for. It could be a month or something like that. But this one here definitely sounds like it's glitched. Let's open up this post and we'll just see if people are commenting too much on that. I know the rest of the trophies are very multiplayer focused. There is a really brief single-player campaign on this one, but the most of the stuff you're doing is online-based, so just be prepared for that if you're going to play the game. On saying that, though, the game does actually have a really fun mechanic with melee combat, which I enjoyed a lot during preview, so it's worth checking out, I think, but the Platinum is going to be a grueling one. Yeah, a few people saying here that trophies are glitching on them or unlocking at the wrong times. People saying they're unlocking trophies just at random times when they weren't supposed to. So I'm not really sure what's going on with it. I would say that it's going to get patched to fix some of those problems and hopefully, fix a few of those concerns people are having. Yeah, the end of the season one obviously hasn't been unlocked by anyone yet. So we'll see what happens with this one. The rest of the trophies, to be honest, they look like pretty standard multiplayer trophies. Getting save an ally 50 times in a PvP match, completing story mode on realistic difficulty, winning 20 brawls in PvP matches, going down to the easy stuff, which is completing a mission, killing an enemy in a 1v2 situation, manually deploy war assets, win the first domination. So it's all pretty standard PvP stuff. Okay, let's continue on. There's really not a lot of games that have come out this month, to be honest, guys, as well. So hopefully I can keep this one a bit shorter. I know last month was a little bit long. I'm still trying to work out the timings of it. But let's have a look at Sub-Level Zero Redux. Now, this is a game that is not out yet. It's coming out this week or next week, I think. It's a PlayStation VR game. Basically, it's a sort of roguelike first-person arcade-style tank game where you go through the levels in a VR environment, shooting different things. I think it's worth calling out just because it is a VR game with a Platinum trophy, which never happens. And that's really fantastic, and it's good to see some developers finally putting Platinum trophies behind their VR titles. So complete the second level with no damage, complete the campaign after early alternate level unlocked. Don't know what that means. Complete the campaign without firing a bullet, make 100 enemies kill each other, complete the campaign without firing any energy weapons. Complete the campaign after the final alternate level unlocked. Again, not sure what that means. Halfway there. The small half. I'm guessing it's finish half the campaign. Complete the campaign without firing plasma weapons. Die 100 times, die 10 times. Again, more complete the campaign. Read half the logs. That's collectible, I imagine. Make 500 enemies kill each other. There must be a weapon that helps you do that. Die on the final level. Complete the third level with no damage. Craft a third tier module. The trophy list, to be honest, looks pretty reasonable. Obviously, no one's playing it yet because the game hasn't come out. I was fortunate enough to receive a preview code for this game as well. I haven't played any of it yet, but I have been interested in it, so I'm going to jump into it hopefully this week and get some playtime with it. And hopefully I'll be able to let you know how the game is next month. I have got the PlayStation blog open here where there is some information about the title. I think I might just play through the trailer while I'm talking a little bit just so you can get an idea what the game's about. But yeah, as you can see, it's sort of procedurally generated environments. You're flying around in a tank or a vehicle, shooting at the different enemies as you go. So it could be worth checking out if you're into your VR stuff and you're looking for another VR Platinum trophy. And it could be an easy one as well for VR, so that would be awesome if it was. Okay, let's have a look at Deformers, which is a game that hasn't come out yet. I think it got delayed, if I remember correctly. It says here March 31st, 2017, but I'm not sure if that is correct. Now, this is a game made by Ready at Dawn. They're the same guys who did the Order 1886 on the PlayStation 4 earlier in its life cycle. It's a little bit different than the Order. It looks like a bit of a puzzle game, which is interesting. It's being published by EB Games here, I think GameStop in the US. which is also interesting because they generally don't do that. I know it's a new initiative they're getting into. We have here straight off the bat completing an online match, completing a match in split screen, leveling up to 20, prestiging, a silver prestige, gold rank, and you reach gold ranking and prestige. So that means the game probably has to be played a lot, to be honest, to get that. The trophy list is pretty short. It's mostly golds and silvers. We've got 4 bronze, which is pretty unique. That's interesting. These don't look easy by any stretch. Scoring 25 goals, scoring 50 goals in ball form. But it could be rewarding because a lot of them are silvers. Score a goal in form ball. Score a goal in form ball. I don't think that makes sense. Get 10 saves in form ball. I think it's probably supposed to say ball form, but anyway, a lot of them are golds and silvers, so it could be quite rewarding even if you don't get the platinum trophy necessarily. I can only see 2 online trophies, I think, from what I can see. So if there is a single player portion of the game where you can simulate matches and things like that, then the game could be a pretty easy platinum to get as well. All right, let's keep going. All right, we're at the top of the list. We've got Styx Shards of Darkness. I'm not going to go into that one because I know the first one was quite difficult to get the platinum in. It's a stealth-based action. Well, it's a stealth action game. I suppose the game's trailer is really, really cool, so I'd encourage everyone to go check that out. And the game actually does look pretty cool. I'm excited about it, but I'm not going to go through the trophies, just in the essence of time here. Okay, so let's keep going through the next page. So we've got Night in the Woods, which is a game that a lot of people were excited about. I haven't had a chance to go through the trophies myself, so let's have a quick look at them now. So no one's got the Platinum Trophy at this point. Oh, wrong button there. No one's got the Platinum Trophy at this point, and doesn't look like it's glitched. It just looks like there's a lot of golds that are stopping people. The trophy list... I have looked at this. I do remember this now. Yeah, because all the trophy descriptions were quite vague. Stop the bleeding, 4 strings, and spite to use them all. All hail rabies. They're all really weird names, so you can't really get an idea of what you actually have to do to obtain them. A lot of these ones here at the bottom, these common ones, I'm not even going to read them out because it doesn't make any sense, are bronze, and they're all easy. So I imagine these are all story related. Miracle Rats, again, these probably all look story related ish. And then when it gets up here to probably the 16%, I imagine these are choice based or something like that within the game. It's like a 2D sort of story driven game, I think, adventure game, story driven type adventure game. There's a few golds here. In fact, all the golds haven't been unlocked yet, so people might just not have found how to unlock them. But it could be done easily with a guide, potentially when the game's been out for a bit longer. Just under 500 owners at the moment, which isn't very many. A Pixel Story, again, I called that out as an easy platinum when I saw the list, but it doesn't look like it is after a couple of weeks of being out. Merville's, a VR adventure, unfortunately doesn't have a platinum trophy, which is a shame. Let's keep going up. So Dear God got another list, which we talked about last month. Nier, or Autonoma, let's have a look at that one. There's been a lot of stuff going on around the internet about being able to buy trophies in the game. It came out in Japan last week or 2 weeks ago, end of last week. No, 2 weeks ago. It is 2 weeks ago. We're on the 5th of March. The game looks pretty cool. It's a third-person hack-and-slash game developed by Platinum Games. They specialize in sort of hack-and-slash games like Bayonetta, Ninja Turtles, which wasn't very good, Legend of Korra, which also wasn't very good, Transformers, which was quite good. So they sort of hit and miss a little bit. Yeah, the game looks pretty interesting. To be honest, the trophy list didn't look super challenging, even with the prospect of being able to buy trophies and things like that. You've got to complete the game 3 times. That's probably the biggest challenge, to be honest. It's got 3 different endings that you have to achieve, and I don't think you can use the save exploit, or you've got to do different things through each of them. I'm not going to go through and read them all because a lot of them look story-based or related to kills, but I'm going to play this game this month, and I'll talk about it a little bit next month if I'm able to get the platinum in time. The thing that people were complaining about is in the game you're able to buy trophies with in-game currency. If you haven't seen anything about that already, there's plenty of articles about it online and people whinging about it as well. I don't really know where I fall on it because I think you can only do it on your third playthrough or your fourth playthrough or something like that. And it looks like, to be honest, a lot of the trophies that you can actually buy with in-game currency, you probably would have already unlocked. I think they're cumulative-based, kill-based trophies and things like that, killing X number of enemies. The sort of stuff by the third playthrough you've probably almost completed anyway, so it doesn't really strike me as too much of an issue, but I know a lot of people were upset about it online. Okay, let's keep going. There's a couple of other things I wanted to talk about. Gem Smashers, which I know was going to be a really easy title based on the trophy list. It's a PlayStation Vita puzzle game. At the moment, it's unattainable to get the platinum just because the game crashes after you get to a certain level in the game. The Vita runs out of memory or something to that effect, but the developers are aware of it, and they're looking at patching that, so that will fix hopefully that, and you'll be able to get the platinum trophy with that. The cool thing about this list is all of them are silvers and golds, and they're also a really, really high completion percentage. I know, granted, there's not a lot of people playing it, but that's generally a positive sign, especially when the game looks like Gem Smashers with gems and a squirrel or a hedgehog thing. So this one is definitely worth waiting for and checking out once the trophy has been patched, because I think this is going to be an incredibly easy platinum. Don't lose any lives for 3 levels. Don't use the speed up against a boss. Some of the golds here are destroy 100 rocks and smash 200 gems, change color 200 times. So this is definitely one that you should check out once the platinum has been patched. I imagine it won't take too long. Death Squared has got a platinum trophy, which is really cool. This is a co-op based. This is a co-op game where you play as a cube. You've got to get the other cubes. What am I saying? You've got to get the cubes into the correct colors on the board. It's played from a sort of isometric top-down perspective, and you've got to sort of work together to make sure the cubes get into the correct areas. So one might have to lift the other one up to get to a higher platform so he can get to his area, and then you have to move to your area. I'm not doing justice explaining it at all. It does look pretty cool, but it looks like it could be a really frustrating game to play with friends unless you're communicating a lot. So there's that. Let's see if we can have a quick look at the trophies. Only 4 owners at the moment, so it's pretty hard to be able to tell how easy it is. Got trophies for dying 100 times, 1,000 times, completing different story levels, completing party levels, finishing party levels, completing levels in a row without dying, more trophies for dying, skipping the intro, finding a secret item, finding more secret items. Basically, you're going to need 4 people to play this one. Make all 4 players die at the same time, view the credits, customize your bot. It doesn't look too bad except for these couple of things about dying. I think it has online. I hope it has online. Otherwise, it could be just co-op. A split-screen co-op, I should say. But if it does have online, it could be easy enough to get the other trophies. Okay. Got Horizon Zero Dawn, which I'm not going to go into just because everyone is covering this game at the moment and you've probably heard enough about it. The Platinum Trophy is not missable, so you can do it all in one playthrough. From what I've heard, there was rumours about one of the trophies being missable in the game, but I think that's all been cleared up now, so it actually isn't missable. There's a few story-related things in here, so if you don't want stuff spoiled for you, don't click in there. But you should be able to get the Platinum Trophy pretty easily. I know that once you finish the game, you can go back into the environment and collect things. So there is a point of no return, and you get put back to it. So, yeah. Okay, we're almost at the top. So we've got The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing. This is a Diablo-esque game, which I'm pretty interested in jumping in and trying at some point. I have it on my console, I just haven't played it yet. We've got just over 100 owners, 1 platinum achiever. It's only been out for like 3 days, so that's a pretty good sign. The trophies didn't seem all that difficult, but it is a pretty big trophy list. We've got 41 trophies for an online for a PSN title, so it's probably not going to be a walk in the park. I would say it looks like a 6 or a 7 out of 10 based on my initial look through of the list. killing a certain number of enemies, basically, all the way up to 50,000, which is enormous. But if the game is designed to be played co-op through multiple times, then that's something that you'll get as you play through the game multiple times. Visiting different locations, looting items, again, very Diablo-esque, very RPG-esque, killing bosses, going to certain areas, finishing the game without killing blah blah blah, finishing the game on hardcore. Pretty standard list for this kind of game. Alright, let's keep going up. VR Ping Pong got another trophy list. I think it's probably just for another region. Actually, I do want to call something out with VR Ping Pong quickly, because last month I think I talked about it, or it could be the month before, and I said that it looked like an easy platinum for VR. There are 2 trophies in it for rallying 200 times or 100 times, and both of those are really, really hard to get. So if you were looking at getting it but haven't done it yet, that is definitely something to point out to you guys, because it's really, really hard to keep the serve going for that amount of time. And it makes those trophies pretty difficult. They're not impossible, but they are challenging. Okay, Dying Reborn is a game I'm currently playing at the moment. Let's have a quick look at those. They're going to be a little bit spoilery or a little bit weird unless you've played the game. Basically, it's a first-person puzzle game. Well, a horror puzzle game, I suppose. It's quite unique in the environments. You're trapped in a room and you basically have to figure out how to escape out of the room. As you can see here, we've got a lot of 100%. The trophy list is pretty easy. It doesn't look like there's going to be too much difficulty in getting the platinum. I would be surprised if there's any missable trophies. There might be 1 or 2. You've got a trophy if you're completing each section of the game, unlocking all the puzzles, doing certain objectives in certain areas. So those there, they may be missable, but there is a level select, so it's not going to be like you can't obtain it. There's a weird trophy here for launching the game. I don't know what that's about. Watching the TV and successfully combining items. These are all things that you can't avoid doing. You have to do them as you play through. So yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty easy platinum, to be honest. I would say it's probably a 2 out of 10. At the moment, I've only played about 3 or 4 sections of the game, and I've spent maybe 4 hours on it. Oh, no, not even that. Maybe 3 hours on it. So it's probably going to be about a 5-hour platinum. If it does turn out to be really easy, I'll make some more videos around it, because I haven't seen any information online about this one. There is a bundle in the store as well where you purchase Dying Reborn, and you also get a version of Dying Reborn which has VR compatibility. I'm not sure if that's the same game or if it's a different game with VR support, but I'll check that out as well. Hopefully have an update for you guys. I was hoping that I would have had this finished by the time I did this video, but unfortunately I've just been too busy to get through it. But if you're into puzzle games and sort of that horror element, then it's pretty cool. The horror stuff is sort of just the setting, the environment you're in. You're in like an old hotel at the beginning anyway, and well, where I'm up to, I should say. And there's no jump scares or anything like that, but it's definitely turned around. There's a creepy doll thing which you can see through a grate, and a window being smashed and there being blood on it and stuff like that. So it's cool. Yeah, it's a cool title. I think it's definitely worth checking out if you're into that sort of thing. All right, almost at the top of the list now. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. That's obviously the next really massive title coming out next week, I believe. The trophy list looks pretty reasonable on this one as well. Obviously, no one's obtained the platinum yet because it's just been out for reviewers. But we've got trophies, which is a pretty standard Ubisoft list, I should say, for doing everything. So interrogating, driving for 100 kilometers, skydiving 10 times, defeating your bosses, finishing the story, completing different operations in the game. Took out a sniper with a pistol, so a few random bits and pieces. But to be honest, the trophy list is pretty much do everything in the game and then do a lot of miscellaneous things in the game, and you'll get the platinum. Based on the betas that have been going on for this game, it does look really, really cool. So hopefully the trophies are easy enough. There's nothing ridiculous in there that ruins that. Alright, I'm just aware of time now, so let's keep going. Oh, look at that, we're at the top already. Cool, so that's all the games for March, to be honest. I don't even know what the call-out one in there is. To be honest, it's probably going to be Dying Reborn. I think that's probably the easiest thing that's on that list, or Gem Smashers once that's been patched. I'll quickly talk about the games I've been playing this month as well. There's not been a heck of a lot because, like I said, I was away. I played Jak and Daxter and got the Platinum Trophy in that on the Vita while I was away, which has been a long time coming, so that was really good to get out of the way. I finally finished Resident Evil 7 and got the Platinum Trophy in that. Definitely the best game I've played this year. Completely just obsessed with that game and the DLC, which I'm playing through at the moment. But it's a great Platinum Trophy. If you're into that genre and you're into that sort of thing, you've liked Resident Evil in the past, and I definitely encourage you to check it out. The Platinum Trophy is very attainable. It's not that difficult, even if there's a few things that might seem a little bit hairy in there. And then obviously Dying Reborn, which I'm hoping I'll have finished in the next couple of weeks. And if it is as easy as I think it is, then I'll definitely do a breakdown video on just that game, and I'll post that separately. But that's all from me, guys. That's all I'm playing at the moment. I'm not sure what else I'm gonna continue with next month. But let me know what you liked and what you didn't like about this episode. I don't know if the length is good or not, if you'd like it longer, shorter. Please let me know. Any feedback is really appreciated so I can tell exactly what people are wanting to get out of the show. Likewise for the segments, let me know if you want me to break them up slightly differently, include different things, take stuff out that you're not interested in hearing about. Leave comments below, really interested to hear feedback. But thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like and a subscribe and a comment with anything you want to say. I'll try and reply to everything. And look out on my channel for new videos coming out in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully have something up on next weekend with another top 10 list. And that's all from me. Until next month, I'll talk to you then. Terminator out.